To chant together slowly. Some of you may not be able to read fast, but if you hear, in a few days you will also pick up. चाञ्चल्यारुणलोचनाञ्चितकृपाम् चन्द्रार्धचूडामणिम् चारुस्मेरमुखाम् चराचरजगत् संरक्षणीम् तत्पदाम् चञ्चच्चम्पकनासिकाग्रविलसन्मुक्तामणिरञ्जिताम् श्रीशैलस्थलवासिनीम् भगवतीम् श्रीमातरम् भावये। कस्तूरीतिलकाञ्चितेन्दुविलसत्प्रोद्भासिफालस्थलीम् कर्पूरद्रवमिश्रचूर्णखदिरामोदोल्लसद्वीटिकाम् लोलापाङ्गतरङ्गितैरधिकृपासारैर्नतानन्दिनीम् श्रीशैलस्थलवासिनीम् भगवतीम् श्रीमातरम् भावये। राजन्मत्तमराळमन्दगमनाम् राजीवपत्रेक्षणाम् राजीवप्रभवादिदेवमकुटैराजत्पदाम्भोरुहाम् राजीवायतपत्रमण्डितकुचाम् राजाधिराजेश्वरीम् श्रीशैलस्थलवासिनीम् भगवतीम् श्रीमातरम् भावये। षट्ताराङ्गणदीपिकाम् शिवसतीम् षड्वैरिवर्गापहाम् षट्चक्रान्तरसंस्थिताम् वरसुधाम् षड्योगिनीवेष्टिताम् षट्चक्राञ्चितपादुकाञ्चितपदाम् षड्भावगाम् षोडशीम् श्रीशैलस्थलवासिनीम् भगवतीम् श्रीमातरम् भावये। श्रीनाथादृतपालितत्रिभुवनाम् श्रीचक्रसञ्चारिणीम् ज्ञानासक्तमनोजयनलसद्गन्धर्वकन्यादृताम् दीनानामतिवेलभाग्यजननीम् दिव्याम्बरालङ्कृताम् श्रीशैलस्थलवासिनीम् भगवतीम् श्रीमातरम् भावये। लावण्याधिकभूषिताङ्गलतिकाम् लाक्षालसद्रागिणीम् सेवायातसमस्तदेववनिता सीमन्तभूषान्विताम् भावोल्लासवशीकृतप्रियतमाम् भण्डासुरच्छेदिनीम् श्रीशैलस्थलवासिनीम् भगवतीम् श्रीमातरम् भावये। धन्याम् सोमविभावनीयचरिताम् धाराधरश्यामलाम् राधनमोदिनीम् सुमनसाम् मुक्तिप्रदानव्रताम् कन्यापूजनसुप्रसन्नहृदयाम् काञ्चीलसन्मध्यमाम् श्रीशैलस्थलवासिनीम् भगवतीम् श्रीमातरम् भावये। कुङ्कुमाङ्कितकुचाम् कर्पूरवर्णस्थिताम् कष्टोत्कृष्टसुकृष्टकर्मदहनाम् कामेश्वरीम् कामिनीम् Kamakshim Karunarasardra-hridayam Kalpantarasthajinim Sri ShailasthalaVasinim Bhagavatim Sri Mataram Bhavaje Gayatrim Garudadhvajam Gaganagam Gandharvaganapriyam Gambhiram Gajagaminim Girisutam Gandhakshataalankritam Ganga Gautama Garga Sannutapadam Gam Gautamim Gomatim Sri ShailasthalaVasinim Bhagavatim Sri Mataram Bhavaje Pobhih kshina papanam Shantanam vitaraginam Mumukshunam apekshyoyam Atma bodho vidhiyate. In this introductory shloka, Shankaracharya is introducing the qualifications necessary for this. Then the second qualification is Vairagyam, which is indicated by the word Vitaragina. And the third qualification is Shamadhi Shatka Sampatti, which is indicated by the word Shantana. Shantaha means the one who has got Shamaha. Shantaha is the name of the person. Shamaha is the name of the qualification. And the definition of Shama, you know, Mano Nigraha Shamaha. Mind control. And this is an Upalakshanam, indication for Dama, Uparatihi, Titiksha, Shraddha and Samadhanam. Damaha indicating sense control. Uparatihi means quietude of the mind. In Tattva Bodha, the word Uparati was defined as Swadharma Anushtanam, doing one's duty. So we can take that meaning also, Uparatihi Swadharma Anushtanam. But that is only a rare meaning. Generally in Vedanta, Uparati is taken as quietude. And in that case, you may wonder, what is the difference between Shama and Uparati? In Shama also mind has to be quietened. Uparatihi also we translate as quietude. We make a subtle difference. In Shama, it is quietening the mind. In Uparati, it is the perpetuation of this quietude. That is, the quietened mind does not get disturbed again. So, Shama is withdrawal. Uparatihi is maintenance of that quiet condition. In Viveka Chudamani, Shankaracharya says, Bahya analambanam vrittehe eshoparati ruttama. In Shama, extrovert mind is quietened. In Uparati, the quietened mind does not become extrovert again. Appadiye maintain pandrathu. So, Shama, Dama, Uparatihi. Then the fourth one is called Titiksha, which means equanimity in Sukha, Dukkhadi, Dvandva. Then Shraddha means faith in Guru and scriptures. We have analyzed this in Tattva Bodha. Therefore, I don't want to go into the details. I just want you to remember them. Shraddha is the faith, and the last one is Samadhanam, which is Chitta Ekagrata, concentration of the mind. So this 6 together is called Shamadhi Shatka Sampattihi, which is indicated by the word Shantana. And then comes the fourth and final qualification of the student. What is that? Mumuksha. And this is indicated by the word Mumukshuna. So here also, Mumuksha is the name of the qualification. Mumukshu is the name of the student. So in this shloka, instead of naming the qualifications, Shankaracharya has named the person. Shantaha, Vitaragi, Mumukshu, and Viveki, understood. And if all these 4 qualifications are there, such a person is called an Adhikari. An Adhikari, speed எழுதுறதே careful எழுதணும். An Adhikari எழுதுட்டா Anadhikari ஆயிடும். அதனால Adhikari. So Adhikari is one who has all the 4-fold qualification. If you remember Tattva Bodha, the first sentence was Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampanna Adhikarinam Moksha Sadhana Bhutam Tattva Viveka Prakaram Vakshyamaha. The same thing in shloka form is this. Anga Tattva Bodhaha, inga Atma Bodhaha. Tattva and Atma are one and the same. Okay. But only plus point in this shloka is, Shankaracharya says, how to gain these qualifications. How to gain this adhikaritvam. That is given in the beginning, tapobhihi kshina papana. These qualifications are attained by tapas alone. Tapas indicates all kinds of sadhana. It includes karma yoga. It includes upasana. It includes all vratams. In fact, even pilgrimage, coming to Sri Shailam, staying in the other building, you are doing more tapas. So you are in an advantageous position. So tapas means all kinds of disciplines is called tapas. And how does tapas give these qualifications. Tapas does not directly give these qualifications. Tapas removes all the papams. And as the papams are removed, Vedantic qualifications come. So therefore Shankaracharya says, Tapobhihi kshina papanam. So those people whose papams are kshinam, nashtam, is wasted or rubbed off by the constant performance of practice of tapas, which indicates tapas is the sadhana. And remember, any obstacle to Vedanta is considered a papam. Suppose a person is very rich, and because of his richness he is involved in pleasures. From worldly angle, people will call him Punyavan because he has plenty of riches. He can travel all over the world. Periya Punyavan solluva. But since he is distracted because of the prosperity, since he is not able to come to Vedanta, the very prosperity becomes a papam. In fact, anything that obstructs Vedanta is a papam. Even our own relatives, even close relatives, if they are becoming an obstacle to Vedanta, getting such relatives also is a papam. They might give me plenty of wealth. Even they may be my own parents. But when I am sincerely craving for Vedanta, if the parents are putting an obstacle and say that you should be in samsara, then that also is another type of papam. Papam matru rupena. What a tragedy. To get a mother who says, you go, this is one of the rarest opportunity for moksha. I am your true well-wisher, and therefore you go, solli permission kudukara mother punya. Therefore what I want to say is, punyam or papam is based on what obstructs and what does not obstruct, or what promotes moksha is punyam. What obstructs moksha is papam. And therefore, as the papam goes by tapas, a person becomes adhikari, and this adhikari is qualified for the study of this text. And by introducing these qualifications, Shankaracharya is introducing another thing also known as Anubandha Chatushtayam. Anubandha Chatushtayam means 4 factors to be introduced in the beginning of any shastram. 4 factors to be introduced in the beginning of any shastram. It need not be Vedanta, Tarka, Vyakarana, Jyotisham, Mimamsa. And these 4 factors are supposed to be Adhikari, Vishayaha, Prayojanam and Sambandhaha. Nanna note panningo, quizla ellam varum. Adhikari means who is the qualified person fit for the study of this shastra. And what is the answer here? Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampannaha is the adhikari for this shastram. The second factor is what? What is the Vishaya, subject matter of study? And that is given here, Atma Bodhaha Vidhiyate. Here the subject matter is Atma, not Anatma. Tarka, Vyakaranam, Mimamsa, they all come under Anatma. Here the subject matter is Atma. Should be very careful. You should not say Atma Bodhaha is the subject matter. No. Atma Bodhaha is the Prayojanam. Here the subject matter is Atma. And what is the Prayojanam of this work? The immediate benefit of this study is Atma Bodhaha. One will get self-knowledge. That is the Prayojanam. And this self-knowledge is the immediate cause of liberation. Therefore, the ultimate Prayojanam is Moksha. So, Adhikari is the first factor. Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampannaha. Vishaya is the second factor, that is Atma. Prayojanam is the third factor, that is Jnanam or Moksha. And the fourth factor is Sambandha, relationship. And the Sambandha can be anything. Sambandha is relationship between two things. And what relationship is there depends upon which two things you take. Suppose somebody comes and asks you, what is your relationship? Now what will you answer? With whom? So you cannot talk of a relationship without knowing the two factors involved. Similarly, Sambandha, there is no one answer. Many Sambandhas are there depending upon which two factors you take. If you are taking the text, the Grantha, and the subject matter, that is the Vishayaha, then we say Pratipadya Pratipadaka Sambandha. So the text is the one which propounds or which reveals, and Atma is that which is revealed. Atma Pratipadyaha, Granthaha is Pratipadakaha. So, Grantha Vishayayoho Madhye Pratipadya Pratipadaka Sambandha. Between text and subject matter, there is Pratipadya Pratipadaka Sambandha. Whereas, if you take the knowledge and the result, that is the Vishaya Jnanam and Prayojanam you take, the Sambandha cannot be Pratipadya Pratipadaka Sambandha, but it is Janya Janaka Sambandha. Knowledge produces the phalam. Therefore, knowledge is called Janakaha, the producer, and the phalam is called Janyam, the produce. And therefore, Jnana Phalayoho Madhye Janya Janaka Sambandha. If you take Adhikari and Vishaya, Adhyetru Adhita Sambandha. So he is the student and that is the studied subject matter. Therefore, the learner and the learned, the relationship is, one is the learner, the student, and the other one is learned, learned. So thus you can take any two things and then we can say the sambandha. But generally we talk about the sambandha between the text and the subject matter. Therefore generally we say pratipadya pratipadaka sambandha. This is the most confusing thing. Adhikari vishaya prayodana nanna purinjidum. Sambandham dhaan puriyadhu kashtam. Sambandham eppodume problem dhaan. Okay. So mumukshunam apekshyaha. So for these qualified people, this textbook is apekshyaha. Apekshyaha means to be resorted to be pursued, to be studied in artham. Pathaniyaha, darshaniyaha, vicharaniyaha ityarthaha. So this is to be studied by these qualified people. What? Atma bodha. So Atma bodha granthaha. And such a text is vidhiyate. Vidhiyate means written by me. Maya Shankaracharyena Granthakarena vidhiyate. Literally it means prescribed by me. In this context, written by me. Continuing. Bodhonya sadhanebhyo hi sakshan mokshaika sadhanam pakasya vannivajnanam vina moksho na siddhyati. In the previous shloka, he said, Mumukshunam bodhaha vidhiyate. For the seekers of moksha, Atma bodha is prescribed. From that it is clear that Atma bodha is a means to moksha. So if for a seeker of moksha, Atma bodha is prescribed, indirectly it means Atma bodha is a means to moksha. We said Janya Janaka Sambandha. Now in this shloka, Shankaracharya says, Atma bodha is not one of the means to moksha. Atma bodha is the only means to moksha. Which means the mumukshus have no choice. So na anyaf panthaha ayanaya vidyate. There is no other means to moksha. Then the question comes, if Atma bodha alone is the means to moksha, why do the scriptures prescribe so many sadhanas? Scriptures talk about japa, scriptures talk about pilgrimage, scriptures talk about puja, scriptures talk about millions of sadhanas. Then do you mean to say that scriptures are talking vyartha sadhanas, invalid means? For that Shankaracharya says, they are also sadhanam to moksha only, but not sakshat sadhanam. They are all paramparaya sadhanam. They are all only indirect means to moksha. They cannot directly do anything. Then what is sakshat sadhanam? Bodha. That is what he says. Bodha eva sakshat sadhanam. Bodha here means Atma Bodha. Atma, pona shlokathilenda anuvritti. So, Atma Bodha eva sakshat sadhanam. Sakshat means avyavahita sadhanam. Gapless, immediate mean. Direct means in artham. That means, yatra yatra atma bodhaha vartate, tatra tatra mokshaha api vartate. You cannot say, yatra yatra japaha vartate, tatra tatra mokshaha vartate. You cannot say. If a person does japa,